Hello there. Welcome to In Dark Places. America runs on Duncan. This is episode 38. We have someone here who's never been on any kind of a show like this before, so we're very excited. Mr. Dylan Gray is here. And also joining me here, live via closed circuit TV, my lovely co-host, Mr. Haunted.
Oh, thanks. I've never been called lovely in my life.
That's how the guys on the big shows do it.
So, how are you doing?
I'm doing fairly good. How are you doing today?
Today, I am colder than a small macaroni penguin, which is a penguin indigenous to the Antarctic Peninsula area, which in only 6 species of penguins, it's only one of 6 to have a crest. So one of these penguins sledding down an icy mountain glen with its purple scarf waving willy-nilly in the Arctic wind, whilst belting out the mistletoe song like he's freaking Bing Crosby or something.
Yes, sir, that is pretty cold.
You want to introduce our guest yet?
Yeah, let's go ahead and introduce Mr. Dylan Gray.
We have a great guest for you tonight. He's waiting patiently in the In Dark Places green room, opening the birthday presents we got for him today. He's headed down the hallway now to the studios. Here he is, the high horror collector himself, Dylan Dragonite Gray. Come on in, Dylan.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sit right there.
Happy to be here.
And we're glad to have you. This is going to be cool.
Now,
That's
Dylan.
a nice comfy green room you have back there, I must say.
Thank you. You know, Dylan was gracious enough he wants to participate in the Scary Movie Celebrity Birthday Game with us. I remember on the show called The Haunted Chronicles, they had a feature called Scary Movie Celebrity Birthdays.
Yes, this is a huge feature from Haunted Chronicles.
Huge feature. People used to wait in line for this, Junebug. No, they didn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's not kidding.
Which made everybody miserable, but I continue to do it every week. So this week we had some prepared, but you don't know who they're going to be, and we want the listeners at home to also guess these birthdays. So these are celebrities that were in scary movies that are having a upcoming birthday, and you're going to guess how old they are, and
Okay.
we'll give you 2 or 3 years each way. We're not going to make you guess the exact year, but play along at home. So our first celebrity is C. Thomas Howell. And of course, I have to incorporate myself into this story, Junebug. I went to one of the first one of these horror conventions I ever went to. C. Thomas Howell I didn't know he was going to be there. He was one of the guys signing autographs and doing pictures and stuff. And the crowd wasn't that heavy at the time. And I said, I got to get my picture, with my kids with C. Thomas Howell. So my kids got a picture with him, and he asked my name. Just, he's being nice. What's your name? So then later, like 2 hours later, the place was so packed you could barely walk through the aisleways. So he found me in the crowd and said, Jim. And he waved me over. I go, what? C. Thomas Howell? And he says, can you come hang out with me a little bit?
Cool.
And I said, yes, C. Thomas Howell, I can. So I don't know, maybe he didn't even have a helper or anything. So maybe he's just bored or whatever, but it was real nice of him. And he had me sit with him a little bit. So he was in The Hitcher, Red Dawn, E.T., War of the Worlds, The Shadow People, and was Ponyboy in 1983's The Outsiders. How old will Ponyboy be?
Dylan, you kick it off.
Wow. That's a tough one. I'm going to go with 82.
Holy mackerels!
I want to say he's about 60.
55 years old.
No.
He's just a kid yet. I would think he's older too because he's been on forever.
Yeah. Sorry about that, C. Thomas.
I hope he never hears this.
He is a frequent listener of In Dark Places. Our next celebrity birthday is Kiefer Sutherland, actor known for The Phone Booth, 24, Mirrors, Flatliners, The Vanishing, Stand By Me, and was the little vampire boy David in The Lost Boys.
Yes, classic.
How
And
old will
Jack
Kiefer be?
Bauer.
Jack Bauer.
Oh man! Fun fact: I have been in his presence before, but I did
What?
not meet him.
Oh,
I saw him from about 15 feet away, and by the time that I tried to go over there, he was already gone. This was at I think it was a Rhode Island Comic Con, like 17 or 18, something like that.
Very cool.
he has a birthday December 21st. Kiefer.
57.
But he's probably like 66.
Pick up sticks. He'll be 55 years old. That's close enough.
Oh, we got one of them.
Yeah, we don't gotta get it dead on here.
Okay.
I forgot about Mirrors. That's a great movie.
Yeah.
He was in more than I've left out. Just so many.
Kiefer can hear this. That's fine. What's going on, Kiefer?
You know, I think his dad's still around too, right?
Yeah, he is.
I'm gonna look that up on the fly.
Yeah, he's got to be 120.
What was that scary movie Donald Sutherland was doing? He's going, oh, he's making that face pointing. Remember that?
I remember the movie, but I can't think of the name. Yeah.
It had the pods in it. All right, look that up for us, people. Okay, Donald Sutherland was born in 1935.
Wow.
That's a real long time ago. So he's like, what, 65 plus 87, 86, 87 years old?
I think so.
Wow. Okay, that's an extra bonus treat for you guys. All right, how about this guy right here? He has a birthday December 17th. Brad Pitt, actor known for Meet Joe Black, Seven, Interview with a Vampire, The Devil's Own, Sleepers, World War Z, Fight Club, etc., etc. Brad Pitt.
Yeah. Wow, he's a heavyweight. He is. He's been in so many good movies.
He has. He's got a ton of good movies.
Jeez.
I think the first movie I saw him in was Thelma and Louise.
That's a classic. I'm gonna say he's 55.
I'm going to guess he's probably about 60 now.
Very good. He'll be 58 years old.
Oh, cool.
Okay,
Wow.
that's a compromise.
I still first see Thomas Howell's 82. I got one more. You like this one? Sissy Spacek has a birthday on Christmas Day.
Oh, you already know this one, Jim. You know I love her.
She is known for An American Haunting, The Ring 2, Coal Miner's Daughter, and most importantly,
Carrie.
played little Carrie White in a
Yes.
movie, Carrie, based on the Stephen King novel, Carrie.
As creepy as it is, I may be staring at a photo of her on my wall right now, covered in the pig blood.
Pretty creepy, bro.
The best scene. Geez, let's see. And I'm trying to figure out the timeline. When Carrie came out, she was still a kid, so let's go with 66.
Pick up sticks.
Yeah, I think she's up there. She's been around for a while, it seems like. 74.
Very good. 72 years old.
Oof. Close.
And you know, we were talking about this earlier. Remember when Carrie came out and she basically blew up the gym and killed everybody?
Yeah.
And through younger eyes, you're like, what is this? This woman's crazy.
Yeah.
And now you look back, you're like, good for her.
Absolutely.
Good for Carrie.
Absolutely.
Those bullies.
Travolta was great in that. Travolta was awesome.
I forgot about Billy Nolan. Is that his name?
Yes.
Billy
Yes.
Nolan.
I believe so.
Billy Nolan was a big jerk. And you know,
Yeah, I hate the bullies.
we have an honorable mention
Okay.
that we don't. Well, Heather O'Rourke,
Oh, okay. Good one. Good one.
actress,
Yep.
she had a breakthrough in the film Poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
But she was little Carol Ann.
Yep.
Now, her birthday is December 27th. So we're going to guess how old she'd be today if Still
if
with
she was
us.
still with us today.
Yeah. Little Carol.
Oh boy, I'm gonna say around 40.
I remember when she died, and I was just all tore up about that. And I was shocked to see that she was like my age, roughly. I think she was like a year older. And I am now 46, so I'm going to say she'll be 47.
Oh, we're gonna give you that one. 46.
Oh, there you go, spot on. You get the trophy for that
I
one.
can't believe that though.
That's insane.
It's just a kid.
And that's one of your favorite horror movies ever, right, Jim? I recall you saying that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine too.
You think of it because it had a lot of humor in it, but that was scary.
Oh,
Yeah, it's so creepy.
It's scary.
At the time, people were like, "What the?" You know.
That swimming pool scene, that just freaks me out to this day.
Yeah, they used the real stuff in there too.
It was.
No joke.
Yeah, that's why they all had their little curse. They played around with the real stuff.
Yep. And then they had the weird occurrences with all the different people that were involved. That's a crazy rabbit hole we could go down some episode.
That would be a good idea.
Film tragedies or something like that. Curses around films, rather.
The cursed movies.
Yes.
That would be great.
I think Jim did that. He did that on Haunted Chronicles a couple years ago.
Cursed movies.
Damien.
Rosemary's Baby.
Yep.
Twilight Zone movie.
Exorcist.
Oh, yeah.
Exorcist. Wow.
Yeah, there's quite a few.
So Dylan, before we even get started, I want to know, it's your birthday today.
It's my birthday.
What'd you do on your birthday?
I vegged out. I took it easy, like they say, which was much needed, and I got some little presents, some stuff from my parents and my wife, and I'm very thankful and happy, and I've had a great day so far.
But it's just begun.
It's only begun.
You've got a great collection of memorabilia and stuff, just anything anyone could think of. When did you get started in that?
Well, I guess it started when I was a kid. It started with stuff like video games and, normal stuff that kids accumulate. Action figures. When I got into cards and stuff is when it really exploded. Pokemon cards, basketball cards, Yu-Gi-Oh cards. That just kind of I don't know. I've always been a collector of stuff. It's just kind of always been something that I like to do. Even as a kid, my favorite video games were the ones that were that people call them collectathons, like the Spyro the Dragons and Crash Bandicoot, where you got to run around and you're picking up all the gems to get through to the next level. You got to get all the crystals and stuff like that. I don't know. I just always gravitated towards collecting things. And as I got older, my interest changed, to say the least. We have quite the collection of horror stuff, paranormal stuff, paranormal historical stuff, you name it.
You know what's funny? You even liked the games that you had to collect stuff in the games.
Yeah, those are my favorites.
I'm trying to think what your past life was.
I don't know. I don't know. Was I a banker or I don't know.
We gotta figure this out for next
time. Those were always my favorite ones though. Like Spyro the Dragon just always comes to mind because you had to go around and collect the gems, and you had to hit the dragon totem poles, and just like seeing a set number of something and like just the number keep going down and down, and like, okay, I got to collect this one, got to collect this one. There's always been something in my mind that just, I don't know, I just gravitate towards it.
I used to collect a bunch of stuff. I never really had anything valuable. I just like old Pepsi cans and just nonsense stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just collected it over the years since I was a kid. And I thought it was cool. And I had it in a big glass case at my aunt's house. And she started getting up in years and everything. She was cleaning the house out. She told me to take this stuff home. It's all been mine forever. And I brought it all home. And we had a house fire like 2 months later and lost every bit of it.
Oh no.
Jumbo, get your godforsaken Pepsi cans out of his house.
Yeah, I was devastated. No. I could have just left it at her house for 2 more months.
I have a question from a frequent listener called Little Fish.
Yes, little
And
fish.
Little Fish wants to know, what was the first collectible that you got that was the paranormally related, if that's a word?
Um, Good question.
Or how about Warren's related?
I would say that the first thing that I would, it would be something that would be Warren's related. I would say it would be something that they signed, maybe a Lorraine signature or an Ed signature. I think I had Lorraine's before I had Ed's to begin with. Now I have quite a lot. I'm actually, I'm trying to collect all of their original works if I can get each one of their original prints, all the vintage books signed and autographed. I'm almost there right now. I'm close.
How'd you get introduced to Ed and Lorrain Warren? Was it from TV or lecture?
Well, I owe it to my wife for that one. At the time, I wasn't even into, horror stuff at all. She was the big horror buff, and this is when The Conjuring came out. It was when it came out on DVD after, and she had it, and she's like, "We're gonna watch it tonight." And I was a little hairy about it. It wasn't really my thing. I was fascinated by it. I saw at the end of the movie, how they kind of they had the little blips at the end of like the actual photos, and like with little facts or whatever. They would have the parent family. They'd have Ed and Lorraine, and something sparked up inside of me from that moment on. I don't know what it was, but it sparked, and I started to research them, and I realized, whoa.
You like the nostalgia?
Yeah.
You got tons of stuff on Ed and Lorraine. I was very impressed. Little sketches and doodles and things that Ed had done on envelopes. It's amazing the stuff you've got.
Yeah, it's been, it's been a journey. Each thing kind of has its own story. It came from different places and such, and they've kind of we often we refer to it in my house as the Warren verse. We just say that I got great luck when it comes to the Warren verse because they just somehow find me. I've networked with people from all over the country to get stuff. It's really been a journey. It has. I've got another painting on its way to me now. I've got 10 in my possession, so this will be my 11th. All done by Ed. I don't have any of Lorraine's yet. Hoping to get something that she did. Most people don't ever really talk about that, but Lorraine was a painter too. Yeah, I mean, I could go on and on and on.
That is cool.
11 Warren. Now, Dylan, did he had a certain technique of like he has a what would you call his paintings? What are they called?
He had a certain style. See, the things that I have, let's see, I have 2 painted plates, which are both Christmas themed. Ironically, it's Christmas time. I have 3 pieces of wood, different sizes of wood that he chose to paint on, and the rest they're called barn door style. And it's where he would take it's almost like it looks like a piece of a cabinet with, it's fastened on the back with a nice little chain. He always made it nice and tight so they would hang up, and it's just like very, very hard. It's not going to break if it tumbles. It's very sturdy. He would take his his paints and stuff, and he'd get to going right on the front of it, right on the front of this little cabinet door. He would fasten his piece of wood onto the front of it, and he called it the barn door style. It was kind of his little original thing that he had there before he had that occult museum. That was what he did. That was his art studio. Actually, that's what he did.
It's coming back to me now because when you said barn door, I forgot what the term was.
Yeah.
Where I said it seemed like I said, "Where's he getting all these barn doors from?" There's a bunch of farmers in Monroe say that freaking Warren kid's taking our doors again. There's a lot of farmers without doors.
Yeah, it just gave me a little flashback in my mind of that sign, that original sign where it said Barn Door Studio. That's what he had it. Yep. But yeah, this new one that I have coming to me too. I just purchased it 2 days ago. It's a barn door style. It's a winter landscape type. That's another thing we can discuss is what did Ed paint? Ed painted lots of like New England style landscapes, farmhouses, wintry scenes, little villages. He was also, as everyone who knows Ed, he was a Halloween enthusiast. He loved the spooky stuff, so he painted some haunted houses with ghosts coming out the front with different graveyards and witches. And I don't have any of those crazy ones that you see in the books. I think those are all in the Warren homestead, but I do have one or two that are spooky themed. One says Happy Halloween on it that he painted. Might be my favorite one.
I was going to ask you, what would you say your favorite one is?
Just because of that, the whole thematic element to it, it goes hand in hand with who he was as a person, and it just, yeah, it's
I
great.
always loved the little wintertime scenes and like the snowy paintings and just like wrapping paper at Christmas morning. I would just be fascinated with like the little snow scenes, and they would have like the little warm lights in the cabins out in the distance. Always love that stuff.
Absolutely, and that's a pretty accurate. You're painting a picture for the listeners there of exactly what Ed was painting. He was a very good painter. He would do, you could, what's the word? The perspective, and you could see the things off in the distance well, and the things had depth to it. I'm no artsy paint guy, whatever. I just like to collect stuff that Ed did. Ed put his time into that. There's a piece of him in each and every one of them. Each one is one of one. I know it's going to make Jimmy laugh. I got a lot of one-of-ones, though. You laugh it up.
Well, you know what? We always joke about one of one, and what that means to us is there's not another one in the world.
No.
So let's talk about one of one. Tell us about the little green hat. What's the story behind that?
Oh,
and who owns
boy.
the little green hat?
Yeah, what's the green hat?
Little green hat. That's a good one. I was lucky enough to meet the Warrens' secretary of many years. She was their live-in secretary. She moved. She lives in a different state now, and she's married and stuff. And she still had a couple things left over that were given to her over the years. And I befriended her. She graciously gave me the little green hat, and it was a hat that was very special to Ed. If anyone wants to watch the full video of it, it's on the official Ed and Lorrain Warren YouTube channel, Tony Sparrow's YouTube channel. He's got the episode of Ed sitting there with Lorraine when they're actually talking about it, and he pulls the hat out and he tells the whole story. It had a lot of significance to him one day when he was kind of down and out, and he was in the woods, and it was on St. Patrick's Day, and he kind of looked over, and it's a cute little story. I'm not going to say the whole story on here because we'll be going and going and going forever, and I would appreciate if people would go on and hear it from his words himself. It's straight from Ireland. The case that holds this, I guess Ed got it in Ireland. It's like a little treasure chest style case. It's got a stone, supposedly from there too, a coin. It says Blarney stone or Blarney coin on it rather. It was one of his most coveted items, personal items ever. And when I had the opportunity, the honor to receive it, I was like, well, yeah.
That's awesome.
Of course I'll take it. Ed and Lorraine would go to Europe a lot. I'm not sure exactly how many times that they went to Ireland specifically. I know they went to Scotland numerous times, but yeah. So the chest was from Ireland that he got over there. The coin, the stone, and the little hat was somewhere over here. It's got a little story to it. The listeners need to go check it out.
And Dylan, also for the listeners,
Yes.
would you prefer people to follow you on Instagram, or what's your?
Yeah, definitely.
And for anybody else that, and he has hundreds and hundreds of pictures on there. If you guys want to check it out, it's High Horror Collector. Was it High HIGH Horror
underscore
Collector?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, he's got some amazing stuff. You're gonna love it.
Yeah, I'm a big horror collector. I do a lot of the Funkos, mainly the Pops. I know that they got a bunch of other lines of stuff like Dorbs and stuff like that. I don't really get into that, but the Pops consume my life enough. I've got almost 800. I've got almost 200 of those that are signed by their respective actors and actresses of whoever the characters are, just from traveling to cons. And I'm a big autograph collector. I get them all verified. And
hey, Dylan, for us older folks, what are Funko Pops?
Funko Pops, they're little cute dolls, you could say. They're little vinyl figures. They're about 3.5, 4 inches tall. And what they do is the company gets the licensing rights for different movies and TV shows and all sorts of things. They have them for pretty much everything nowadays. They have a cute little look to them with like the style of their eyes is really the most recognizable way, I would say. And they're highly collectible, highly addictive, and they're great because what they do is they shed light upon things that most things don't get toys made out of, if that makes sense. Like cult classic movies that are kind of more hidden away, that are less popular. Someone will go in the store and they'll see like, oh my God, they just made a Funko for Return of the Living Dead. Holy, I've never seen a toy for this in my life. And they buy it right away. You know, they're very good at marketing. That's what it is. Very good at marketing. They know what to do, who to target and how to get them with their unique style of collectibles. Just say it's never been done before. What they have never been done.
The first time I'd ever really heard of them was I saw that there was a Mothman Funko figure a couple years ago. I was like, cool. I've got to get the Mothman. And I was all excited. And I went looking, and then it dawned on me, these things are pretty rare to come by because I could never find it.
I want a Mothman.
Specifically, and yes, Jim, you do want the Mothman one, because once you see how cute and evil combined he looks, it's irresistible. Yes. I saw the Mothman at a flea market I was at yesterday. Someone had it. He's one of the more pricey pieces, though, because what they do is they'll sell them out to different stores. Like, say, Hot Topic will get an exclusive one where they can only make one of Elvira. And then Walmart will get an exclusive deal where they'll only make ones out of, like, the characters from the TV show The Office. So they make the consumers go to different stores to purchase them.
You're driving us crazy.
Yes. Yes. The Mothman Funko.
Why have they forsaken us?
I don't know. They just want all my money. And they get it all too. The Mothman Funko, and not even just Mothman. I'm talking cryptids in general. They've got various Bigfoot ones too. I believe there's a rainbow-haired Bigfoot. There's a green Bigfoot. There's a flocked one that has a little fuzziness. So if you want to rub it against your face, you know, it kind of feels kind of cool. They're all expensive, though. That's what I'm getting at. All the cryptid ones, they all have crazy, like, elusive exclusivity. And once they get on the market, people know. So they just hike the prices up real quick.
What kind of price range is like a Mothman? Yeah.
He's like $80, like $100. When you go to a store, a normal one will cost you. I go to Walmart, check out at Walmart. You check one out. I think it comes through as $8.78. That's how much a standard one will cost you at retail.
That's wild.
If you want the cool ones, like, you know, you want the Mothman with that little exclusive sticker. I believe he was exclusive to some type of event that Funko was running at the time online. Obviously it makes it even more scarce, makes it more collectible, makes people like me, my eyes get real big, um,
So
you
what
gotta
you're
pay.
saying? So what you're saying is you have a better chance of seeing Mothman in person than finding
Yes.
a Funko.
Absolutely.
All right, I see where you're going here. I see where you're going.
That's crazy.
And after this, you both need to go on and look at the Funkos that we're talking about right now. The rainbow-haired Sasquatch and Mothman there, because they're quite some amazing pieces. They are.
They sound cool.
Looking up Mothman's Funko right now. Oh, he's adorable, Junebug.
He's absolutely adorable.
I gotta go. I gotta run to the store. I see.
We'll pick this up
I
later.
get it. I get it. Anyway, he's adorable.
He is. So is my unmasked Jason Voorhees that I got right here. He's staring right back at me. He's
cool.
kind of he's got one eye open, one eye closed. He just got his little hit taken in the movie, I believe. As evil that these characters are, I mean, there's a Jeepers Creepers. You know what he looks like?
He's adorable, probably.
He ain't pretty. He's ugly. But when you see him in Funko form, holy, you just want to snuggle him. He's great.
Another one of your collectibles, and I'm kind of interested in knowing the story. What's the story behind the wolf shelf and the cherub?
Oh, okay. Well, luckily over the years, I have befriended Judy Sparrow, and she's been very, very nice to me. She's always been very graciously to take care of me. I met her originally at some of the Annabelle events back in the day. I want to say 17, 18, 19. We just kind of, we would message back and forth from there on social media and stuff. And she would send me off some papers of like when her parents would talk at a lecture, the actual papers, original promo flyers of when they would be over in Britain, just stuff down the Warren verse, just all sorts of authentic Warren memorabilia for me. Well, one time I wasn't expecting this at all. Here she is, and she's talking to me, and she says that they had a family friend that was somewhere down south, I want to say, who had just passed away, and the family had sent these items back to her. Because they felt like they should go back to where they came from, I suppose. They were Ed's. They were decor used in his Halloween room and in parts of his museum at various times. She wanted to know if I wanted to purchase them. And you know what happened next.
You purchased them!
Without hesitation.
Those are cool.
I have a little cherub, but he's not necessarily an angel. I mean, he's got a skull for a head. He is cute. I have photos of that in Ed's house, in the museum and stuff. I got documentation and all that. And, the other one, it's like a little, it's a shelf. You could call it a shelf. It's kind of like a little wall ornament type of thing with a wolf's face protruding out of it. Actually, what's sitting on it right now is Jimmy's little alien.
You love that alien.
Jimmy's alien has found a new home ever since he came here, and he loves that shelf. He's sitting there right now. It has a little chip on the front, like where the wolf's nose is. It kind of just like adds to it, makes it look like a little age, makes it look cool to me. And it hangs up in my bedroom amongst my books and my other stuff that I have up there. We keep the cherub downstairs right now. I have a little shelf where it's kind of like all my strange and like odd type of items, and that's where he fits in well. So that's where he is. I'm looking at him right now.
He's a creepy little guy. Yeah.
He is. We'll definitely share some photos of him afterwards so that people can see.
Yeah, we'll have this up on YouTube later on, and we'll put tons of pictures in there so everybody can check this He's got some great stuff.
Oh, that'll be cool.
And like I said, I really owe it to Judy for that one, because she's been great to me. She's always taken care of me, and she didn't have to do that. She saw my appreciation and my passion for her parents' work, and she offered it to me, so I took it.
I got one that I got to ask about.
Oh yeah.
Only because I used to listen to. We all listen to Art Bell all the time.
Oh yeah.
Still,
Yep.
but I heard this case on Art Bell years and years and years ago, and it's a famous case of poltergeist type activity with apport type items.
Yep.
And I think when I went to see you, you just got this stuff in, or maybe I was going to say.
Yes. You're talking about the Moffats.
Did you ever hear of the Moffat case, Junebug?
I have not heard of that. I was going to ask about that.
Dylan, tell him a little bit about that case. Anyway, the Moffats.
Well, in my opinion, it is lesser known. It's one of the lesser known Warren cases, let's say.
And it should be a big one.
It should be. I mean, they weren't there for too long. They didn't do too much. If you want me to get into exact detail, I can tell you exactly what they did. So the Moffats lived in Rancho Cucamonga, California. They were suffering a haunting from an evil entity. I believe it was 1989. The Moffat family in California, they were having a haunting by a evil entity that they suspected. They reached out to numerous people, all sorts of clergy, paranormal investigators, you name it. And they came across Ed and Lorrain Warren, of course, at the time. This is when they were, getting their name out there. They're doing their TV shows and appearances, and they were nationally known at the time. They got them on the phone, and Ed and Lorraine were already in an engagement to come out to California over the next 2 weeks, because I believe they had a lecture out there or some sort of meeting that they were coming to. So it was kind of like, it was perfect. They went there. They met the family. Lorraine did her bit of discernment, where she walked around the house, trying to psychically determine what was going on, if she could feel anything. And what she felt and what she said, I mean, it was powerful, and it sounds kind of scary. She said it was an ancient demon, was the exact words that she used. She said it was pure evil, and they had no idea what to do to get rid of it.
Wow. So
what it ended up being is, well, the Warrens, anyways, they were real with the Moffats, and this is documented. Anyone can read this in Miss Moffat's book. The Warrens basically said, look, we don't know what to do. I'm sorry. And they had obligations. So the next day they did what they did in California, and they flew home. And that was the last that they heard of the Warrens. The Warrens didn't solve that case. This haunting was so bad that this entity, allegedly, he would apport things all through the house, which means he would make things appear, make things disappear, make things that weren't there in the first place. Things were appearing out of thin air that weren't there originally. You'd just walk into your bedroom and there'd be a big rock in the middle of the bed, or,
Wow.
Things would be transported from one room to another.
Now, Dylan, I have a question.
Yep.
A lot of these apports and poltergeist-like
Yep.
happenings, why could they leave a Whopper and fries on my bed? There's no rock.
Now you're talking.
Because they don't like us, They don't like us.
It's just wondered.
I own a couple. I own two of those things that said entity supposedly manifested in that case. One is a little bird head. Was a little bird head type of like decoration. For some reason, it didn't like it. It would smash it around. I believe it's made out of glass. It's got a little wear to it, little chips. It's in the book too. If it's on page 84. If anyone that's listening does have the book, they can see it. It's the little bird head. It's like a little two-piece, little blue, looking like a falcon, I think. The other one is a statue of Jesus, and he is enshrined in shells with some little plants coming out of the bottom of it and stuff. And the entity supposedly just snapped it right off. So the Jesus is not connected to it at all, and it doesn't sit right ever again. You've got to like prop it up. Like right now, I've got it propped up against the wall, so it'll actually like maintain and it'll keep its composure.
Wow.
I have letters of authentication from Deborah Moffat is her name. I should have mentioned her name. She signed them. She hand signed them. She typed them up. They put this haunting behind them for many, many years. Her husband put things away in storage. They planned on possibly doing a book of some sort or making it into something someday. They just wanted to put it behind them at the time, which is, it's my understanding, they had just endured this horrible haunting and they wanted to just, basically forget about it. She chose to uncover some of these items after her husband, I believe he passed away in 2012, and she started to sell them. So I caught wind of that. I caught wind of it I didn't even know that it was an Ed and Lorrain case until a few months ago. I had to get Miss Moffat's books to learn the story, to learn the case. There's another book out by another author that's based off of the true story of what happened. So I had to get the clarification in my mind about those two. I had to verify it all because it was all new to me. I'm a crazy Warren nerd when it comes to this and that. From the small cases to the big cases, I like to know everything and retain it. It's me. It's geeky little me. I love their cases. End of story. I had never heard of this one before, and where this entity's doing all this crazy stuff, it's bad. It was taking a bar of soap, and it was writing, right plain English, just writing backwards. It was communicating with them with the bar of soap on the mirror in the bathroom, and it was a bad one. The resolution of it was actually kind of scary. There was a paranormal investigator that came from the East Coast. His name was Gary, and he stayed with them for a while, and he took off. He went to go live elsewhere afterwards. This entity, for some reason, it supposedly latched on to him, and that was the end of the case for the Moffats. It went off, and it went with Mr. Gary. They had a little bit of communication with him after that, and just fell off with him completely.
Wow, poor Gary.
Yeah, poor Gary.
I just thought of an obvious question that I haven't thought of before.
Mm-hmm.
With all these items in your house, these cursed items, have you had anything weird happen in your home?
No.
Never.
No, I have, nope.
How about growing up?
Growing up, I've had a couple paranormal experiences. Nothing crazy as in the realm of the Moffats. Nothing to that degree. Thank God.
That's good.
Right now, I mean, I have stuff. I have a big, beautiful Russian Orthodox cross that I got from Maximus McIntyre.
Mm-hmm.
You know him, I believe,
Yep.
right? Yeah. I got a bunch of religious artifacts spread throughout my house and stuff, and upstairs with Ed paintings, I should say. I've got rosary beads around almost every single one. Yeah, but then I've got Danny Radical's one of his custom Ouija boards held up right now in the living room with a little Owlman Living Dead doll. I got a little occult an oddity type of shelf thing going on, but no spirit boards, nothing's ever happened. No paranormal activity.
So you know what? I was thinking that I believe you bought some newspaper clippings.
Oh boy.
Why don't you tell a story instead of me telling a story?
Arnie Johnson.
Our friend Arnie Johnson.
Yes, he is our friend. Everything. He's the definition of a gentleman. Everything that anyone said about his personality came true when I met him. I met him at the Warrens Paracon just this past October. Um, I thanked him for coming out, and was he was brave enough to come out and talk to the people and do his Q&A, and it was a surreal moment for me. That's
Now,
for sure.
Who is Arnie Johnson for people who don't know?
Arnie Johnson is known from the Warrens case, The Devil in Connecticut. He was, I believe, 19 at the time when it happened?
Yeah, it was just a kid.
He was overtaken by a demonic entity and committed murder. He killed a man. He stabbed him. He was under possession, and then he didn't remember any of it. But he snapped out of it. He came to, and he had no idea. It was because there was a haunting going on in his girlfriend's house. His girlfriend's little brother was dealing with something evil.
He was 11 years old, maybe.
He was 10, 11. David Glatzel, that was his name.
Scary stuff.
So what happened? So you're saying you bought some of these newspaper clippings from?
Yeah, I got some original press photos from when Arnie is entering the courthouse going in for his trial.
This historic trial.
Yeah.
And your dream, what would you have done with these articles?
I never thought that it was going to happen, but, thankful for you because you introduced me, and thankful to my wife, too, for encouraging me, too. I have to say that, of course. Yeah.
Dylan, go ahead. Me and Courtney, Dylan's wife, we're outside talking to Arnie,
Yep.
and I kind of gave him a heads up, said, Arnie, a very good friend, has some articles, and he's a little nervous about asking you.
Yeah.
And he goes, send him over.
I wanted to approach him in the correct way. You know what I mean? Because I don't. They just came out with that movie recently, The Conjuring 3, which it's really loosely based on it. It's like 3% true. It's not. It's just pretty much all Hollywood. But I'm not gonna walk up to him and try to come at him the correct way. It was it was a surreal moment for me. You know what I mean? I've read The Devil in Connecticut twice. Back. It's just very, very cool, very, very trippy moment for me. But Jimmy made me a little comfortable. My wife made me comfortable, and Arnie was flattered. And then we have photo evidence too. He was very kind. He was very gentle. Like I said, the definition of a gentleman.
We got to talk about this to have it on the record, Dylan.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been collecting these things for what? How many years now? Especially the Warren memorabilia.
Well, the Warren stuff, I'm not going to lie. It's not like I've been into them for a crazy amount of time. Like I told you, it's just I found out about the time whenever The Conjuring came out was 2013. So it was when it came out on DVD. That's when I watched it. And found
maybe
out
5-6 years.
Yeah.
So
that's accurate.
So it's fairly new, and your dream, well, one of your wishes was to go to the Warren's museum, and because it's closed because the zoning and the neighbors complain that people are up there, whatever.
Yeah, it's been closed for a long time.
There'd be no way that you could ever get there.
No, I didn't think it was going to happen.
And what happened twice in that weekend, Dylan?
I got in.
Very nice.
I did.
Now, was it illegal? Did you break in? How did that?
I did with a ninja style, yeah.
Oh, what did you just say, ninja? Did you just say ninja?
Yeah, I was gonna say with a ninja, with the ninja star.
You're not gonna believe this. I have breaking news. A ninja with a sword attacked a U.S. Army Special Operations unit in California. Did you hear about this?
What?
I did not.
It seems unlikely, but it did indeed happen. A man wearing full ninja garb attacked members of a U.S. Army Special Operations Unit in the middle of the night in the California desert, setting off a scramble for safety and resulting in at least 2 injuries, according to police and other records. The incident occurred a little after 1 a.m. when authorities in Ridgecrest, California got a word of a sword-wielding man dressed as a ninja on the loose at the airport in Kern County, north of Los Angeles. So a staff sergeant was smoking a late-night cigarette near the airport hangar when an unknown person wearing full ninja garb approached him with a question. "Do you know who I am?" the man asked. Sergeant said he did not. "Do you know where my family is?" the man asked. When the sergeant said he didn't know, the person in ninja garb began to slash at him with his katana sword, adding that the sergeant's leg was struck. This is real life. Police officers located the ninja on a nearby road, but the man refused to follow commands and brandished the sword at deputies. Then projectile rounds were used, but were ineffective. Instead, the man ran. When deputies used a taser on him, he finally dropped the sword, and deputies were able to take him into custody. He was identified as Gino Rivera, 35, and Rivera was arrested for attempting homicide, assault with a deadly weapon, brandishing a weapon with the intent to resist or prevent an arrest. I just heard you mention ninja. I had to drop that in.
Holy cow.
That was quite the interjection. I love that.
Oh.
It's crazy.
That had to happen. All right, so we're talking about the museum. You got to visit the museum?
Yes, I did. It was a dream come true, literally.
You know, my favorite. What's your favorite item in the museum, or one or two?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Well, first of all, I want to know what that little like fish man looking thing was. Do you remember? I think I sent you a photo of that. It's like right when you walk in, like to the right, like it's standing up against the wall. I think it's like got like a man's body, but like a fish head to it.
It's freaking terrifying. I don't know.
Yeah, I like that thing.
No,
Whatever
I know.
that is.
Fish
That thing
man.
was creepy.
That's scary. You know what my favorite thing is? It's not the things you think about, like the Annabelle doll or anything. It's the parts from Flight 401 that I think it's such a part of history.
True. Yeah.
Yeah. For those who don't know, there was a flight. I think it was in Florida. It crashed over the Everglades.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, the 70s maybe. And for some reason, they decided to repurpose some of the parts that were salvaged from the wreck into other planes.
Yep.
So there were people that were killed on the plane, including I think the pilot and one of the other co-pilots, and people on the planes with the replaced parts see apparitions of these people in the plane.
Wow.
Yeah, that was some wild. It's just some wild paranormal phenomena going on behind that one.
Love that story.
That was my second or third time being around that one, particularly because I believe Tony brought it out for a couple of the what's it called, the events for the night with Annabelle. He's done like his little special. Well, he'll bring something that he's not going to tell, and then he'll just reveal it, and that's what he brought.
Guys, I got to go off script because I'm so excited about this.
Do it.
We were just talking about Dylan met John Travolta.
Yep,
Oh.
I did.
Very cool. When was this?
Photographic evidence. 2 years ago, 2 summers ago.
He just sent me a picture. I was just telling him how I play a game and my name on it is Zuko, and it's after Danny Zuko from Greece. And I guess he's an anime character, so all the kids think I'm being an anime character. But no, I'm Danny Zuko from Greece. Then actually met John Travolta.
Yeah, that would be awesome. So he was just you just see him like at the mall or something? How did that happen?
No, he was at Fan Expo Boston.
Very cool.
He was putting out, I can't remember what the name of the movie was. Oh, it was The Fanatic. When he was what's it called? In the movie, he's like going around to 2 different conventions following the guy that he's like obsessed with. I never saw it. I only saw the ad for it, but I believe that's what he was promoting at the time. So he was going around to different conventions. And
you're telling me it was about a fan that follows a guy to conventions?
Yeah.
The movie?
Yep.
That's what they call our imitating life. Or the other way, I don't know.
It happens.
Edit that out with a goat sound. I don't know what I'm talking about. I have in my notes here. It says DeFeo letter.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that yet. That came to me from a oddity collector, a friend of mine named Mike. He knew that I love Amityville. That's probably one of my top, if not my favorite case, my top second or
yeah, creepy story.
Absolutely, and it just never ends because we'll always keep talking about it. I've got a piece of the boathouse from another friend who interviewed George Lutz in 2003. I've got the interview on CD too.
Nice.
I've got a signature too. Yeah, I got a signature. He got him to write High Hopes on it, and he signed it and dated it too. The what's it called? Rather, the weird fishman creature that's from Ed's museum that we can't figure out what it is. I'll send you a picture of that too, so you can have them try to figure out what it is. Because I don't know. Jimmy don't. He don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's one of our listeners will know the story behind that.
Some type of fish, cryptid, creature, dwarf. I don't know what it is.
And there's this week's Cryptid Corner. The fish man
right.
from the Warren Museum.
When you go in there, there's just so much to look at. It's like I was elated. I was a kid in a candy store, I didn't. Wow.
I've got to get up there and check it out sometime. It sounds awesome.
I was listening to an interview today with someone. I can't remember what it was, but they were talking about, the question everybody asks, what was the scariest movie you ever watched?
Yeah.
And I'm curious to know what you guys were, because I always have a different answer, and I'll tell you why. But what's the scariest movie that the scariest to you?
Good question.
So many. Probably Poltergeist.
That's up there with me.
I would say as a kid, one that really rubbed off for a long time, from like being a kid into being a teenager, and still kind of bothers me a little bit as an adult, is Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yep. When I have to like look at the creature's face and like I don't know. It gets me.
You know what I liked about them? They didn't show them too much.
They didn't, but when they did,
you don't see.
Yes, yeah.
And you know what? Okay, so I was thinking about this a long time, and I said, of course, Amityville was terrifying as a kid, Poltergeist, Exorcist, but Final Destination, the Final Destination movies, because it's just like regular things in life, like they set off a chain event, like something will fall off the wall, then it flips onto, it's just all these stuff start falling, and then eventually you get your head chopped off by some pane of glass in your basement. That's after watching that movie, you're so paranoid that any little noise or thing that falls, you're on edge, and me anyway.
Yeah,
it was like series. It was more like disturbing, like kind of like Saw, like suspenseful and like really disturbing type of horror.
But then it comes into real life. Like
you gotta don't go walking under any ladders.
Okay, you know what a jerk I am? Well, you know what a jerk I am, right? But
no,
when my there was this little game we played as a kid. It's called. Do you ever play that game? It's like it's digital and it has these little red dots on it. One of those simple video games. One of those first original games. But it's called Breakout, and you have this little paddle on the bottom, and they have these red bricks on top that you just move. You hit the ball up, and it breaks the bricks.
Yes.
So right. So we had this game as kids. And there was a point to where I could get 2 red lights on either corner of the screen. It was a little handheld game. So, like a jerk, my sister was terrified of Amityville Horror. So I got it to the point where there's just 2 red lights on the game, and I used to put it outside my sister's window so she could see Jody the pig. I don't think I ever told her it wasn't Jody the pig. Isn't that mean though?
That's pretty cruel.
Yeah, you got her good.
What a jerk. She got even with me, but
And how'd she do that?
torture each other. But she bent my legs back and I was crying.
She hurt you.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know why we're talking about this. I was laying on the ground and she just picked my legs up and she like bent to the back of my head.
She was like,
crying.
she ain't taking that.
No, she didn't.
Old Boston Crab.
Basically, she was Boston Crab.
I recall another, not to get off topic or whatever, maybe a little bit, another little
We're off.
paranormal incident that you had when that involved your legs when you were a kid on your bed when your mom was downstairs. And
what is it with my legs?
There's a ghost in my room.
I was telling Dylan because I have I fashioned because I worked with the Warrens, I copied everything they did because they were the only people that were my influence.
Yeah.
So I would try to collect items from cases we went to, and I never wanted a museum or anything like that, but just as a souvenir because it's kind of cool to have part of history. So one case we had was these blinking sneakers that I have was little kid sneakers that were blinking at times they shouldn't be blinking, kind of communicating. If you ask questions, they'll blink and yes or no. And the mother saw them walk across the little boy's room at one point. So I got these sneakers here. I have another slip. This looks like a handmade slipper from the 30s or 40s or something that apported in the middle of somebody's living room. They don't know how it got there. They don't own it. And then they threw it out. And then 3 days later, it was there again. They don't know if it was the same slipper or its mate. The shout outs for Nick Redfern there. So, anyway, what I'm trying to say is there was another case, and I can't remember what it was right now, but there was also involving the footwear. And I might have been a boot or something from somebody. I said, I already have sneakers and a slipper. I don't want any more footwear. It looks like a freaking Payless in here. That's all I'm saying.
Well, there you go. There's another example of an apport for you, though. If you didn't know what it was, now you know.
Oh, yeah, I got one more item here. You have a lot of Tim Curry items.
Yes, I met Tim Curry twice. I was lucky enough to meet him twice. Mm-hmm.
The stuff that he was in. He's still going around doing conventions and stuff.
Yeah, he is. He doesn't sign in person, so his team will have their stuff. It's all pre-signed. They're 8x10s or whatever little Pennywise figures and stuff like that. Or you can do like a send away, which is what I did one of the times. It was Rhode Island Comic-Con. It was perfect because what they had at the Comic-Con was an exclusive Pennywise figure, and it wasn't the Bill Skarsgård one. That's when that one was that was really really hot and popping at the time, was when the It remake was coming out. This was Tim Curry's figure. You know what I mean? It was a grayscale Funko Pop of him from that scene where he's in the book. You know what I'm talking about, when he's talking to the kids and he does a little twirl and then he pops up and he goes, I'll kill you all,
Yeah, very cool.
I sent that off with them. It wasn't cheap, but it was well worth it. And they send you back a COA. They send you photos of him signing it in his home. Nice. Yeah. Incredible actor. Incredible.
I got a question for you. Now, I really don't. Some of these questions I know already what you're going to say. I don't know this one because I don't know the history. There's one particular book you have. I think it's one of the older Warren ones, but it's from a different author. It was like
the one from Mr. Sawyer.
Yeah, Sawyer. What book is that? What's the story behind that?
That's the first book that Ed and Lorrain ever did. Deliver Us from Evil. It's been reprinted. You can still get it. You can go on Amazon, eBay. You can get it for probably $15, I think. Soft.
I've never seen that before.
I believe that the cover is the painting for that cover is in Ed's museum. So you've definitely seen that painting before. I want to say it's in the 60s. It's or early 70s. It covers all their stuff from like the early days. You're talking like during the 50s when they were traveling and going,
Wow.
up to people's houses and with the paintings. You know what they did.
Well, no, I thought there was one book where where it was written by the credit was given to one author and then later was changed to a different author or something. Or am I mixing up stuff?
I'm not sure.
Maybe I'm just making up something in my head.
I'm not sure, but I have that book signed by Mr. Sawyer. Is what we were getting at. No, go ahead.
Next time you come up here, my mother, the beach cottage my parents stay at.
Yep.
There's this thing called a book nook. It's like, suppose there's 100 cottages. There's a little book nook where you could leave a book or take a book, whatever. And I always, like every summer, I go there to try to find a book to read.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually look for anything. Sometimes I'll find a little treasure there, like a rare paranormal book that somebody leaves in there.
Yeah.
And I found it was something. I think it was Growing Up Brady or something like that. It was called. It was about the Brady Bunch. So
Cool.
So I grabbed it immediately as I want to hear the old Brady Bunch stories. It was by Barry Williams. And then I opened the book, and guess what's in there?
Oh no!
An autograph
What?
from Greg Brady, right in the book.
No.
Yeah. And they even put, I guess, somebody must have met him in a meet and greet somewhere around here. So they even had the original newspaper article tucked in the book, so you could see where it was, what the date was, with his autograph, and somebody left it. Now it's mine.
You got lucky.
I did.
That's
a
cool.
1 of 1 for me.
Holy yeah.
Guess what I have?
Oh boy.
This happens naturally, guys. Let me tell you.
Oh boy.
I'm going to tell you something right here. Scary movies, celebrity birthdays.
Hey.
Guess who has a birthday December 19th?
Ooh. What would they?
Jake Gyllenhaal.
No.
Hey.
Yeah. How old will Jake Gyllenhaal be December 19th? And he was in Nightcrawler, Brokeback Mountain, Donnie Darko, Prisoners.
Yeah. Great movies.
Is he like 54?
I'm going to say
Yes.
he's 48.
He will be 41 years old on December 19th.
What?
41?
Yeah.
No
Or
way.
1980. You know when it's your birthday and you look in the paper and it says other people celebrating your birthday, say like notable celebrities or singers or whatever.
Yeah.
Everybody I know has some cool celebrity birthday twin. The only person I know that shares my birthday is Tony Curtis. I was always mad as a kid. Like, well, everybody else has cool people. I have Tony Curtis.
Whatever. At least he's cool. He's cool. You can get down with that.
That's Travolta.
Legend. I don't know anybody that shares a birthday with me.
I don't think anyone shares it with me either.
Wait, I'll look it up. What's your December 6th, Dylan?
Yeah.
Oh, that's you. Wow, this you know how much Joe Beth Williams.
No.
Was she a poltergeist?
I don't know.
I think so.
I think she was the mom in Poltergeist.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of cool. And Dylan, what's yours? I mean, Juba.
Mine is November 25th.
They had us on all night long in dark places, and all he did was look up birthdays. Famous birthdays on November 25th. Oof. I think I'm going to take my Tony Curtis for this one. You gotta be Christina Applegate,
Hey, there we go.
Kelly Bundy, JFK Jr.
Oh, wait. She played Kelly Bundy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Take that.
Yeah.
Take that.
I want to thank our guest, Mr. Dylan Gray. Oh my goodness. That was awesome, Dylan. We're definitely going to have you back as a regular guest here on the show. And I want to thank all you guys for listening. God bless you guys, and we'll see you next week.